Hey everyone, how are y'all feeling out there? I just wanted to mention a few things about this weekend's energy. Seems like there's a lot of breakdowns and breakups and breakthroughs happening currently. I know I'm going through them as well, and I've been talking to some friends and clients that have been going through it. It's kind of like a testing of how much we want to seize the opportunity to claim our path, be true to ourselves and speak up for our inner child who has probably been suppressed for who knows how many years, who knows how many generations actually, because we're clearing a lot of karmic patterns with these energies that are going on. It's like an energetic convergence of everything just coming to a head. And the Leo new moon on the 24th last week was part of that, really expressing from the heart, and it was in opposition to Pluto in Aquarius. So digging into those dark shadows and pulling them to the forefront to be exposed, to shed some light on issues that have been swept under the rug for too long, and really challenging people, your partners, your friends, or whoever it might be with, to come correct. And if not, then there's the exit. And it just kind of is what it is. And who's to say that you won't re-merge, like come back together and form new bonds with those same people. But at the moment, universe is really asking us to dig deep and introspect, like with these retrograde planets, Saturn retrograde in Aries, Neptune in Aries. These are energies that are asking us to re-identify ourselves, like especially in Aries. This is who we are and who we claim to be, and this is a new era, like a brand new era of who we are. It's almost like a Saturn return for all of us, whether you have Saturn in Aries or not. Like if you have Saturn in Aries, it is definitely a Saturn return, and it's a remarkable Saturn return, and it's a maturing point. Saturn returns are maturing points, and so we're all being asked to really come correct with ourselves and peel away those layers of inauthenticity and just break that mold of programming that we've all been subject to for generations. Like we are breaking generational patterns, karmic patterns, and using our voice to stake our claim and say enough is enough. And this is on so many levels, especially with what's going on all around the world. And it's getting to a point where we cannot put up with these things anymore. All of the atrocities, especially with the children of the world, it is completely heartbreaking and completely unacceptable. Earth is already expressing as well. Mother Nature is letting these things erupt and shake. Earthquakes and volcanoes and floods. All of this doesn't come from nowhere. This is a buildup of transgressions over the years, over generations, hundreds of years. And we are saying, Mother Nature, Gaia, the earth, feminine energies are saying no more. And this is part of this energetic convergence that I've only heard a few people talk about. Lisa Littleton is one of them. And there's all of these cultural events, like the Mayan calendar has the day out of time, which the next year is the new Galactic New Year, which is a huge energetic reset. Then there's the end of the Kali Yuga, which is a Hindu Yuga system of cycles. There's 9 cycles of 2,700 years. And we're at the end of the Kali Yuga, which is an era of amnesia and fear and lack of sovereignty. So we're at the end of that, and so we are remembering now. Like a lot of ancient wisdoms are being sought out because it's a remembering There's a lot of indigenous stars and asteroids that are being highlighted now because they're making significant aspects to the outer planets. Like Sedna is conjunct Uranus in Gemini, and Sedna is the mythology of betrayal by the masculine, by her father. That's definitely a mythology to dive into. And Uranus is going to retrograde back into Taurus and go over Algol, the demon star, which is the Medusa mythology. So that's being rewritten. A lot of stories, a lot of distortions are being rewritten. And Haumea is an asteroid from the Hawaiian civilizations, which is regeneration. So, I mean, with regeneration requires destruction, and so breaking through, breaking down in order for the new to come through. It's like a rebirth, a complete rebirth of Earth, of our identities. Like all of these convergences, the solar cycle 25, which now we're at the solar maximum. So a lot of solar flares and solar winds coming at Earth, which affects human biology. It's kind of like a DNA upgrade, which is why a lot of us probably have felt the need to rest more, drink more water, just having to replenish even more, because like the universe is helping us like reprogram, basically like wiping the slate clean and reprogramming the way we proceed through life. Like it's a whole new era. And then there's also the threefold planetary awakening sequence that Lisa Littleton talks about. One that started with the harmonic convergence in 1987, which I looked, and Uranus was actually conjunct the galactic center the entire year, going retrograde back over and forth the galactic center at 25, 26 Sagittarius. Then 2012 was when Uranus was square Pluto, which was called the melodic resonance, which is probably very destabilizing. In 2011 was when Neptune moved into Pisces, and so during that time there was probably a lot of grieving, destruction, and breaking down of boundaries. That was the square between Uranus and Aries and Pluto and Capricorn. And then next in 2027 will be the Rhythmic Symphony, which will be the Uranus in Gemini trine Pluto in Aquarius. So that's going to be a beautiful energy. And if we think about when Uranus and Pluto were conjunct, that was during the 60s, during the hippie era, like make love not war, and so everybody was kind of in this nirvana kind of state, just euphoric and love is love. And so now we're at the trine in 2027, which will be a fast-moving, solutions-oriented era, in my opinion. So that's going to be a huge awakening for our collective consciousness. So, I mean, all the things that we're going through right now is so that we can be reshuffled in the positions that will set us up for this rhythmic symphony. So those things that are breaking down right now are to be accepted and forgiven, and instead of resisting and trying to convince one or the other to keep things the same, change is what is being called for. That'll allow us to quantum leap, and like doing things differently will help us like shift the timelines so that we're not in that downward spiral, that inertia of inauthenticity. So we have to break out of that by doing something that is against the status quo, doing something that is not expected. So hopefully that made sense, and hopefully that was helpful. So I wanted to touch on those things. And if you are going through these kind of gnarly times, cry it out. The cry is what will kind of cleanse that soul. There's all kinds of scientific benefits to letting it all out. Like I had a huge ancestral healing last week with a beautiful soul sister, Kayla Gallup, and yeah, just encouraging me to just like bring the tears down to your chin, like instead of holding them back, because that holding them back and repressing and suppressing those emotions is what's blocking the movement, and I could feel it. I could feel that washing away of all the old energies. So yeah, ain't no shame in crying it out. So yeah, hopefully that helps. And if you have any curiosity or interest in knowing what your blueprint looks like, it totally alleviates a lot of worry and stress, and it's not a method of judgment. It's quite the contrary. It's a way to learn discernment. And yeah, I think, I forget who it was, somebody on Instagram who talked about how astrology allows for energetic compatibility. So you're able to see who fits with who. It's not like a judgment, like, oh, you're a Scorpio, oh, you're a Gemini, you're a Virgo, you're on this list of worst zodiac signs. I mean, that kind of astrology is not helpful. And once you know your patterns, once you know your blueprint, you end up falling in love with yourself, which is what we're here to do. Like, that self-actualization is the goal, right? So yeah, hit me up if that is something that you would like to experience. It is very liberating. And yeah, I hope to see you on the next one. Thanks so much for sticking around, and so much love. See you on the next one. Ciao.